Welcome to this video in our series on applications for non-research roles. Here we'll talk about getting prepared to translate your experience to a non-academic audience. By the end of this video, you'll be able to recognise the importance of using a job ad to inform your application, assess job ads to identify job requirements, and select appropriate evidence for skills and experience. Before we start, take a moment to pause and think about what's tricky when applying for non-research roles. Is it understanding what employers are looking for, working out which elements of your experience are relevant, talking about your experience in a new way, articulating the transferable skills you've gained in research, helping employers to see the relevance of your skills and experience, or feeling confident in articulating your potential for non-research jobs? You may wish to pause and think about this before restarting the video. All of these things can be tricky when you first start applying for roles outside of academic research. This is because you're learning to talk about your skills and experience in a different way. This video, along with other resources that we'll signpost to, will support you to tackle some of these challenges. But if you're ever feeling stuck, do book in for an application appointment with one of our careers consultants. When applying for a role, a really good place to start is to take a look at the job advert. Take a moment to read through this advert for a public engagement officer. What information is contained in the job ad? How might it help you to get started with your application? Pause the video now and restart when you're ready. You'll see that the job advert contains a range of clues to help you with your job application. You'll find information about the required skills, relevant experience, and the context for these requirements, i.e., how you'll be using your skills and experience. And this can help you to identify the evidence that you need to highlight and provides you with language that you can mirror in your application. Let's take a closer look. When we delve more deeply into this job ad, we can see that there's lots of clues that can help you with your application. For example, in the description of the job at the beginning, there's a lot of context for how you will use the skills later in the you will have list. For example, the job asks you to have excellent communication skills to liaise with internal and external stakeholders. And earlier on, it actually tells you a bit more about who those stakeholders are in terms of staff and students across the institution from a variety of different faculties and at different career stages. So you can think about how you might need to show your communication skills once you come to writing your own application. When you look at the required experience and transferable skills listed in the You Will Have section, this gives you an idea of the language you might need to use in your application. For example, you might need to mirror and say that you managed projects or communicated with different stakeholders. You could say things like you advise colleagues or independently prioritised and planned projects. So you can see how that language is mirrored from the job advert into the application. Finally, the advert makes it really clear what the objective for the team is. It's very much focused on results and outcomes, so you'll need to show some evidence of this in your application. A bucket CV provides an overview of the different activities that you've been involved in and can really help you to work out what you want to include or focus on in your application. Take a look through this example bucket CV and consider what the candidate might want to pull out as evidence for the public engagement job. Pause the video and restart when you're ready to continue. In this case, the candidate will probably want to talk about their experience of public engagement from their public engagement champion role. We've also seen that liaising with stakeholders is one of the criteria from the job ad, and this can be shown from initiating collaborations, acting as a graduate student representative, or some of the tasks associated with running the PDN symposium. Research itself is a great example of project management, and you'll have lots to draw upon from your research experience. But if this person wanted to vary their examples, they could talk about the charity concert that they work on each year as evidence of project management skills too. The job ad also asks for experience of managing and developing content for communication channels. And when we revisit the public engagement champion role, we can find evidence of this, along with the training courses that the person has completed and the marketing undertaken for the charity concert that they run each year too. And finally, managing a varied workload again could be demonstrated through research. But also, if we look at the Scout Group leader role, we can see that the person has been doing this for a number of years alongside their full-time job, managing both successfully and with a varied selection of tasks in this volunteer position. So it could be some good evidence, again, to vary the example. PhD students and postdocs are sometimes daunted about how to demonstrate the various transferable skills gained from their academic research. If you're feeling stuck, take some time to create a bucket CV, drawing upon a range of activity to evidence your transferable skills. This table gives some suggestions of examples from research that you could use. Pause to look at the detail and restart when you're ready. Alongside the transferable skills that you've gained from research, you could also look at a wider range of experiences and activities. Here are just a few activities that PhDs and postdocs currently undertake outside of their academic research, from positions of responsibility to outreach and public engagement, academic administration and extracurricular activities. And don't forget internships, work experience and training that you've undertaken too. You can use any of these activities to demonstrate your transferable skills. So take some time to look back at what you've been involved in and consider what you might use as evidence for different job applications. If you're looking for some more support to help you articulate your skills and experience, take a look in the CV and cover letter guide for PhDs and postdocs, where you'll find some pages with skills and active verbs to help you articulate what you've done. Also take a look at our playlist with videos to help you make applications, where you'll find some videos on using active language and writing with impact. These resources are all linked in the video description below. We hope this video helps you to start thinking about the varied evidence that you might use to support your application for roles outside of research. Take a look at further content in this playlist for support with tailoring your CV and getting started with cover letters. Thank you for listening.